of all, what are the port of entry? Is through Kampala, Nairobi, is where there's only 2 flights going there. There are even some hotel. If you go by road, you go through Kaboko. And
Right.
So that kind of
this data we used to do it those days.
Right.
And it became very useful for the NGOs.
Yeah, it helps.
and I,
Does help.
Usually when people hear a location, they wonder, like now I'm telling him he's going to Korea.
Yeah.
What if he sleeps there? He has no clue.
Yeah. Exactly.
so I think that's the kind of thing also that we are trying to do here. Like right now, what Liquid has brought in, what it does, and I think probably you'll notice this from your data.
Yeah.
The download data is a lot, but the upload is almost
Very few.
It's almost
Very
close to
few.
zero.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And
That is why we bridge that gap
Yeah.
with the introduction of Internet Exchange Point. So
Exactly.
what Internet Exchange Point does is that it creates local routing,
Yeah.
hearing. You don't need to push your data all the way to America,
To New York.
bring it
No.
back. You
It's
do
local.
it here. You will see
Yeah.
upload will be very fast because the internet is cheap
Exactly.
and it's faster. The latency is less.
so you're using the local
We
ring.
use the local ring
That's
now.
the beauty about
Yeah.
So all we are
That's
doing
the
now, we will be talking to Google and other content providers like Facebook to bring the cache here.
Exactly.
Instead of you going to pick up Facebook, I don't know, from wherever, right now the peering point is in Mombasa.
Yeah.
For Kenya IXP,
Yeah.
Uganda has 2,
Yeah.
Rwanda has 1,
Yeah.
Uganda has,
We
pop,
need
has
one
many
here.
pops. So you need pops here. And even not only here, for example, Liquid, like an operator, we can ask them to put up a pop.
That's
MTN put up a pop.
Exactly.
So that if we are on MTN,
Yeah.
then why should you spend money?
No, definitely, I think that's the way. And
So
100%,
that's
yeah.
why we are investing on it and prioritizing it to become, it will reduce the local uptake of internet by compensating, bring down the cost and then push the internet out.
I think you can do things like VoIP, for example.
Yes, you can actually have your own
Yeah.
broadcasts online.
Yeah. Like, for example, the people here, you have about 5 offices.
Yeah, you don't need to.
And do you still need to use telephone?
And you know what? You are saying something which is critically important for South Sudan, working with Google. Our EFSO project that we are working on, we are also working with Google. So it will be a huge PR for
They have
us.
hearing point. Now we are
To
talking
say
with
they've
them.
got a catch here at
Yeah.
your offices. They are also working with us on EFSO.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And we will have, you will be able, even people will use YouTube.
Yeah.
Like now people don't use YouTube as much as we know it.
Yeah.
They are only looking at things which is because of the refresh rate. Exactly. People are go.
the way it's buffering. But now, yeah, but probably like, Martin, what I can think that I can ask you, like, so now, like the way Liquid now brought, like a broadband and you have high-speed fiber, like, what is the cultural change that you see here, especially with like now when the young people start uploading content? Like, what kind of cultural change happens with that? What kind of perceptual change, even from the outside world? Usually, I think you are in other markets before. Whenever the advent of the internet and the high-speed internet, it changes the landscape.
So true. You know, what we are doing is to create the enabled environment for people to have access, ubiquitous access to internet. I don't want to see someone on a border waiting for a client doing nothing. They are supposed to be in a gadget, uploading information. So through
Or
Wi-Fi
downloading
deployment
information.
or downloading, that is going to happen. So we want to make sure that that enablement then creates a lot of local content. What we have seen generally in Africa is that there's a lot of downloads.
Yeah.
Very little to none in terms of uploads. That is where his project is coming in. If we have got a local peering, we are solving a lot of problems because latency has been solved.
Critical thing that
We
actually
also give the internet at competitive prices to the local market. So we want to make sure that the young people catch on, adapt, and use connectivity.
Yeah,
That's the way to go. And you are complementing
Yeah.
it better by setting up such a facility.
because the young people that we're talking about, you know, a lot of times I tell someone, you know, you write about young people in the report and what. For me, the young people that you're writing in the report, I meet them on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I see them here. I see some people coming here, young people who has an idea, and they got their first client. But they don't have an office. So the client doesn't trust them.
Yeah, exactly.
So he tells the client, come here. I tell them, bring your client here. Tell your client, this is all is our office.
Very good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Have a seat.
your client comes here, you
Yes,
sit with
and
them
have a
here,
seat here,
you ask them for that. Yeah, and then the client is, then from there on you find that these young people are now having that because a lot of the issues with young people, at times, people don't believe them. People don't take them seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone thinks that, you're not. So by them coming here, being part of this community, they're also gaining that authenticity.
Exactly.
And I think...
No, it is the reason why I see the potential we can do. The imagine of internet changes always expose us to greater cultures, places we cannot travel physically.
Exactly.
We normally be able to access it. That's why it become a global village.
Yeah.
Today, I don't need to be in Cambodia to study about Cambodia or talk with somebody from Cambodia. So, but I need a reliable infrastructure that enable me to talk there within affordable reach.
Exactly.
The internet. So the local peering that is really needed in this country is really to shorten. Because people don't know what costs the internet. Where are the costs coming from? Cost is coming from latency.
Yeah.
That's why satellite connectivity is more expensive because it's going to the satellite.
Exactly.
There is a longer delay flushing it up, and there are other obstacles to that. But you know, for us here, let's say in Juba, for instance, why should internet still be such a snail speed? Because all the big cable like yours is here in Juba.
Here.
There is Moya here in Juba.
True.
There are other people here in Juba, at least in Juba. But still, there's no difference between Juba and Wow today in terms of cost, access to internet. And Wow is about 500 kilometers away from Juba. Okay? No cable, nothing. So we haven't yet felt the difference, and that's why we focus on this internet exchange point. We aim that it will reduce the cost significantly and improve performance. Especially upload for people to produce local content.
True.
The kids are producing video. 2 minute, 1 minute, 3 minute videos. Do you know it costs them so much to upload it up? First it is slow, they are not even sure if it is going to, and then halfway it is cut. The bundle finishes. He has to buy another bundle.
That's expensive.
Okay? So this is actually, when we have the IXP, we will be able now to put all the network operators at their toe. To maintain the quality of service. If you say it is 4G, it must be 4G. We will now have the ability to measure it.
Monitor.
If somebody supply you, let's say, 2 gigabytes or 200 megabits of speed, we will be able now to monitor that indeed you got 200 megabits of speed. Not some Mickey Mouse stuff.
That is what we want.
Do you think the cost...
And that is why now we have to bring Liquid on board.
Yeah, but someone will ask Liquid, said like, does Liquid want the cost to go down? And probably why will someone trust a corporate to be in the interest of reducing costs? Probably that's...
Look, we have to be frank in terms of doing business. There is competition. Whenever there is competition, many players are bringing the same goods. And ultimately, the price will move southwards. The game is going to be won or lost at the speed with which we implement and the service that we give the clients.
That's the quality of it.
Yes.
Yeah, but also, Nelson, to answer your question, why would some people lose their bread and butter is rely on the expensive costs go down. But actually, globally, the trend is changing.
Exactly.
The cost is no longer on internet. The cost is what you do on internet.
That's it.
So it is one thing now we are fighting to bring internet into the country. But actually, there will be a stage where internet is in plenty and almost free.
It's just
what will make money is actually the activities you do online. People will develop mobile applications.
Yes.
People want to do IP television, what you are talking, podcasts and stuff like that. Those is where the money will be.
Exactly.
So internet become an infrastructure.
Sure.
It is one thing to own a road, but you cannot make money by having a nice road.
No.
You have to use it. It is the commodity that is transported on that road that may even bring more value. Justify the existence of it.
And someone is saying like 90% of the internet business is actually not on link.
Yes,
90% of the business.
That's
why companies.
The
That's why the most valued companies like Apple, Google, and what they are not ISPs.
No, they are not ISPs. It is what you do on the internet that actually generates money.
I think Liquid renamed. Is it renamed or rebranded into a different? I saw a video.
Yeah.
What was that about?
We are in the process of commuting from Liquid Telecom to Liquid Intelligent Technologies.
You
Like
see?
what is
That is
saying-
already arrangement. They are prepositioning themselves.
We are positioning and angling for the future.
Yeah.
There is so much that you
can do.
on infrastructure. Your applications, your technology support, your managed services, you name it. And the partnerships that you can have with Microsoft, Googles of this earth, and any other company. So it can no longer be legacy connectivity. But what you do, with
on
that
it.
infrastructure.
on top of that infrastructure.
Hence the commutation from Liquid Telecom to Liquid Intelligent technology.
Do you think Africa is ready for that intelligence technologies?
You know what? The Israelis always say there is never a day that you say, I am ready. Things have got to be done now. So in terms of preparing for the future and creating the future, we have to do now. And people have got to hop on and catch up and move forward.
And
There is actually an initiative at African Union level,
Right.
thinking that every country, they're actually intending to establish an Africa-based and IXP in order to indigenize our content.
Yeah.
Right now, many of African countries, the local contents are being hosted by servers abroad. So Africa now is looking inward to develop its own content and make their own routing level of IXP, internet exchange point, within Africa, within the region.
yeah, and also a lot
So
of the
that
content.
we keep our content in the region.
Exactly.
But also a lot of our content is not in our dialects. That's also the other fight
And
that
that
now
is
people
why,
are now going
that's
for.
why
is that-
you have to create local connectivity, so that when you generate content,
Yeah.
local content now, you will be compelled to produce a video in, you always see this music
Yeah,
video
yeah.
in different languages.
yeah.
So surely, sooner or later, people will be beginning to issue translation and stuff like that.
I-
And that's an
In fact,
opportunity.
one of the challenge I'm going to give to you, if Google going to accept to bring a cache in South Sudan, we will now be at task to say, which language can we translate Google into? We have 64 languages.
Yeah.
So you can start with Bari or
Yeah.
Nuer or Kakwa.
Right.
That's
whatever
why
it is.
I usually have a very when people say that like internet, people should have literacy for the internet. For me, usually my response to them is that like, why should we have English literacy to access internet? Like the Chinese are not. You don't go and tell the Chinese, hey, learn English to access internet. You don't go and tell the Japanese
That's
that.
what he said.
Yeah,
we have to start now.
I provided I speak my mother tongue.
Yeah.
And I know literacy of my mother tongue. That should be enough qualification
Yeah.
for me to
And
access
that's what
content.
our constitution
Yeah,
said. Our
exactly.
children, induction languages at certain age is on your mother tongue.
True.
So if we cannot conform to internet. Internet must conform to us.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all we are struggling to do. So we must make internet to do what we want, and that is actually the logic of technology.
Sure.
We don't do what technology wants. We make technology to do what we want as human beings.
Yeah.
We automate
Yes.
manual processes that are so laborious. We basically fasten the phase of doing that thing manually to preserve that labor. Of course, not to put people out of job.
I think exactly that is probably what we should head to. Like even when someone wants to sell a cow, I should just transfer for you
Actually,
cows.
by the way, I'm thinking of doing an online cattle auction in my town in Europe.
That's it.
Because you saw some boys admiring cows on the Facebook
Yeah,
and bidding. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to think maybe we can come up with something so that these guys can actually attend the cattle auction live from the US and pay.
And buy.
It is possible.
I think it's possible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jacob.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.